I'm food critic Alan Borgen, member of the Southern California Restaurant Writers. I've been finding the best restaurants in the Inland Empire and Southern California for over 27 years. This is my job. This is my passion. Let's dine out. Welcome to another delicious edition of the Let's Dine Out show, where we're going to show you some of the best restaurants in not only the Inland Empire, but all over Southern California. First, we are off to Redlands to experience the restaurant of Joe Greensleeves for some tempting classic American and Italian dishes. Then it's off to the sleepy city of Hyland for some delicious Mexican food at Taco Joe's Mexican restaurant. Once again, returning to help me review restaurants is Trisha Jansen. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here today.
Good, and a lot of good eating ahead of you.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Are you ready?
Yes.
You ready for the challenge?
Absolutely.
Okay. When looking for a memorable dining experience, the restaurant of Joe Greensleeves in Redlands must definitely be considered. This restaurant has been serving first-class classic American as well as Italian favorites since 1982 and is the winner of many prestigious food and wine awards. As you enter this intimate and classy-looking restaurant, you are greeted by a dim-lit dining room, a concave ceiling, a large wooden yacht keel on one wall, while the other wall features a quaint stone fireplace and a unique wine cork ceiling. Under the direction of Chef Guillermo Mateo and the Briggs family, Joe Greensleeves is truly a dining adventure that should not be missed.
Well, welcome to Joe Greensleeves. We have the longest running tradition of fine dining here in Redlands. The restaurant's been around for over 32 years, and my entire family's been coming here literally my entire life. We basically love to eat here so much that we ended up buying the restaurant, and so now the entire Briggs family, all three sons, mom and dad, spend our time here working with the food and the chef and our customers to make sure that this is the most inviting, welcoming home experience here in Redlands.
Okay, let's start with the first dish. Now, this one really excited you.
Absolutely.
This is the crab cakes.
Absolutely.
$12. This is two medium-sized crab cakes gently laid upon a bed of a spicy tomato sauce with a creamy aioli. Now, they use all lump crab in the crab cake, and what's nice about it was, again, you get this incredible crab sweetness of it. The outside was nice and crisp, it was pan-fried, and the sauce is wonderful. The aioli is the only thing I didn't quite get it. It was kind of nondescript. It didn't go one way or the other.
See, I disagree.
It was just
I
kind of
loved
bland.
the aioli.
Really?
Yes.
What was it that I missed?
Well, you know, crab cakes are like my personal barometer for a fabulous restaurant, and they definitely didn't disappoint here. The aioli to me was just that unexpected tanginess, and the creaminess of it was great with the tomato sauce. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Okay, I have to try it again.
It was my favorite part.
I would have tried it again, but you ate the whole thing.
I did.
So
I hogged them.
Devoured it. Next came the Greensleeves. This is $13. This is a standard. This is one of their most popular items on the menu.
Very
This is
interesting.
a large pasilla chili and stuffed with venison, beef, Sonoma goat cheese over a roasted tomatoes. I thought this is spectacular. Normally with a relleno, it's almost like a relleno, but it was open.
Yeah, it's a
faced.
pasilla, but it's a very mild chili.
Yeah, it was very mild, open face. It had some cheese on the outside, which I forgot to ask. It wasn't mozzarella, it wasn't jack.
No, it was something. It was spicy
fancy,
though.
yeah.
It had a nice flavor to it.
But the venison was nice. The goat cheese, anything goes goat cheese is great. I love the kind of a richness, the roasted flavor of the tomatoes. And I thought this was excellent.
Well, they roasted the pepper and then they put a char on it and then they peeled the char off, and it was delicious. It was very unexpected for me to love it.
You don't like chili?
Well, I do, but it just I don't know, the goat cheese I love, but boar and venison. I was like, okay, this is interesting. But I took a bite of it and I was hooked. I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Salty, savory.
Would you like to see the chili? I like to see a little crispness, a little bite to it.
No.
It was kind of for me, it was overcooked a little bit. But
See, I liked it. I thought it was perfect. Yeah, I loved it.
It's preference.
Yeah, very unexpected delight.
All right. Next was soup of two soups, $7. This is kind of like the yin and yang of soups.
Yeah.
One side was a tomato, kind of a rich tomato soup, real tangy. And the other side of it was a corn chowder, creamy, fairly rich. I liked it because it had a lot of texture to it. It still had the corn texture, so when they pureed it, it wasn't pureed to death. And the trick to eating this is mix it. You
And
want to
that-
get the red and the corn
Absolutely.
and tomato, mix it.
I like the tomato much more than the corn. To me, the corn, I felt like it needed like a bacon crumble or something.
But
it
it
was
had
just
less of a flavor
less of a
profile.
flavor, and it was creamy. And I do like that they pureed it, but I almost felt like it needed some whole corn in it. Just it was a little too pureed for my taste. But the together, when you took them right down the middle, that was good.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Yeah.
Then porcini mushroom risotto, $23. Now, I'm not a big risotto fan because most of the time it's mushy. But this wasn't. This is a fairly large portion of risotto with olive oil, garlic, fresh herbs, Chardonnay, and of course, porcini mushroom. Now, porcini mushrooms are to me the king of mushrooms.
Delicious.
The flavor of that is amazing. This is a first-class risotto. I just love this. I would have had another 20 pounds, I think, of this. This is amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna nickname this dish the Lovin' Spoonful, because to me, from the first minute that touched my lips, I think it's the best thing I've ever eaten. Seriously. The earthiness of the mushrooms, the creaminess of the risotto, it was salty, it was savory. I fell in love.
Oh, it's nice. Because a lot of times the restaurants tend to be skimpy on it. You know, porcinis
was
cost a lot of money.
beautiful.
They give you a lot of
Absolutely.
porcini mushrooms in there. So
Yeah, I want a to-go bag for that.
well, there's still some there.
I know, I'm dreaming of
You're
it.
eyeing
I'm
it,
gonna
I
ask
see
them
it.
to box that up, please.
Look at it, yeah. Okay, next is cioppino, fisherman stew. This was $25. This is an ocean full of
Yeah.
ingredients. We're talking calamari, mussels, shrimp, clams, a big giant prawn, sea bass, salmon, tomatoes in there. It had a fish broth. That's what everything was put together with. It was served on a kind of like on a big, large oval plate with some delicious bread that they make here, almost like a focaccia, almost like.
It was
I mean, you just
beautiful.
want to get more bread actually and just sop it
Well,
up.
that was actually my favorite part, is the just sopping up the bread, the garlicky of the bread with that sauce. The sauce was delicious. The seafood was tender. It was a beautiful dish, actually beautiful to look at.
And it wasn't
You know,
real.
it was like,
it
I
wasn't
didn't want
real
to disturb it.
Right, and it wasn't real fishy. Sometimes
No.
people won't order because they don't like real
Yeah.
fishy type stuff.
It was
in there.
beautiful.
This is nice. Okay, then came the fillet of salmon.
Yeah.
This was $23. This is actually, I believe, a salmon steak. This is about
Yeah.
8 ounces. It was charred grilled. The outside was crusty. Had fresh carrots and broccoli, herb, rosemary, garlic, potatoes, and it had a rich champagne cream sauce. And that's what made this dish special. The salmon was very good, but that sauce. I love capers. Now, capers can be overpowering. This wasn't. This had just the right
Just enough.
level of it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of capers. I love them. When I see anything with capers, I usually order that. I love the brininess of a caper. This fish was cooked perfectly. It had a beautiful crust. It was caramelized on the outside, and then when it flaked apart, it was so tender
Moist
and
and
moist.
moist.
And then the sauce was lovely. It was a little tart, which I liked. It wasn't expected to be
I see
sweeter.
I thought the cream cut it.
It did. And then the caper, the brininess of the caper was perfect. I loved this.
It really appears that every dish has a purpose. Every ingredient has a
Absolutely.
purpose. There's a lot of thought into this
And
menu.
very well balanced.
Right. And
Very
everything
well
here, they have a
balanced.
gigantic wine list,
Yeah.
award-winning wine list. And they'll pair wines. They're very knowledgeable about wine.
Absolutely.
So you can pair a lot of great wines in here. And everything's very affordable, I think. I mean,
Yeah, well,
it's outstanding.
It doesn't matter what it costs. It's so
Well,
good.
what
I'm
saying
paying
is
it.
It's very affordable.
Yeah, delicious.
This next dish I thought was the perfect dish. It was a prime ribeye steak, $33. This is a grilled ribeye steak, bone-in. What was interesting about it, you can get it with a Tuscan, I think a Tuscan some wine sauce or something over it, or you can have it with a fried egg, 2 fried eggs, and shaved black truffles. That's the way we chose to have it.
That was amazing.
With potatoes and garlic spinach.
Yes.
All I can say is wow. Again, everything was perfect, spot on. The steak was tender, juicy, lots of flavor. The egg, when you cut it
Oh,
open with the egg
yolk
yolk just got to there.
spills.
And everyone, some people out there might say, ew, egg.
No.
Hey, it's steak and eggs. This is just a little bit better version. And then black truffle. Where do you see black truffle? Nice shade. They give you a lot of it too.
They do. They're very generous with the
It's
truffle.
small. You don't need a whole bunch of it. It gives you a lot of flavor.
I agree. I thought this was the most unique dish. The pairing with the egg with the beef. The beef was tender. It was perfectly cooked. A lot of people like very rare, and it was just a medium rare to me, which I thought was perfect. Had a nice crust on it, and the egg yolk when it drips all
that's-
over
isn't that
it, and then
heaven?
a little bit of the truffle. I mean, yeah, it was
Pure heaven.
it was pure heaven.
The next one is a very interesting one too. This was a corabuta steak, pork chop I should say, $28. Now this is kind of like the version of Kobe beef, but it's for the pig.
It's a special pig.
Pig. So they rub his stomach and make him happy
Yeah.
before they off him. But it's bone-in. It's about, 1 inch thick pork chop. Absolutely delicious. Topped with fall apple chutney, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Apples, mustard seed, onions, oranges, vinegar,
shallots,
raisins, cranberries. It's just pungent. It's got that nice tang to it, sweetness.
Definitely.
And apples automatically should be paired with.
Absolutely.
Whenever
pork.
you eat apple, you should eat
Yeah,
a pork chop. I don't care how you eat it, but
Yeah.
pork and apples are made in heaven. And this is a wonderful, wonderful dish.
Yeah, I thought it was very good as well, and I thought the chutney was definitely the star. I know they want the pork, the special pig pork, to be like the
See,
star.
I think next time I come, since I'm trying to lose weight, I would just have maybe a big plate of the chutney.
I'll have the risotto.
And a diet soda. So I haven't talked to her yet about it.
Okay.
Then we had dessert. This is an apple pecan upside down pie, $9. I didn't have a chance to really get into it, because she kind of grabbed it.
I did.
So let her talk about it.
I thought it was great. It was like a mix of pecan pie and apple pie together with fresh whipped cream, and then of course some sort of brandy sauce. I didn't even ask. It was so delicious, and then ice cream. So good to have the apple pie, the crunch of the pecan.
I got
and
to
then the
taste a
apple.
little bit of it.
I don't know. I gave you
not
like
much.
one bite.
1 or 2 bites.
I know. I want that to go as well. That was delicious.
Nice ending.
Yeah.
Everything here is homemade, and I'll tell you, this is just a stunning restaurant. The other thing about this restaurant that a lot of people, I think, are turned off by, because when you look inside, it does look way, way expensive. But this is very affordable restaurant. It's a price range. If you want it, the highest price thing is $33, but it's like the best ribeye steak you
You've
have.
ever eaten.
And it goes down to, I think, 17, 18, or I think they have one dish for $9. So, but there's a lot of room in between. But this is the kind of restaurant you want to take people to impress, just to enjoy once a
Romantic
week.
evening.
Romantic evening. Or just enjoy. I mean, I would come here every week and have something different.
I want that risotto once a
And the
week.
chef's the kind of guy where if you want to, play around with something,
Yeah.
he'll make it for you.
They're lovely. They're
not,
lovely
the
here.
new owners are very, very nice. Not that the old ones weren't, but just a whole new
nice
attitude,
family.
fresh attitude, a fresh menu. It changes regularly, so it's nicely, everything in season. And again, a lot of times they've had some bad knocks here. It's so wrong. I mean, this is a first-class restaurant, but the attitude's not there. It's not real stuffy.
Not at all.
I mean, this is a restaurant that you want to bring your kids to, older kids, but because this is where you want to get them to appreciate
Absolutely.
fine food.
Fine dining.
But again, at very affordable prices. And anyway, I can't say enough about this restaurant. I've been coming here for many years, and I've been through all the owners, and to me, this is one of the best times of Joe Greensleeves. So let's start with your favorites.
The porcini mushrooms risotto. That to me, I don't think I've ever had an experience where I instantly love something so much. Seriously, and I love that. So that's my number one. My number two would be definitely that prime rib. That beef with the egg, that was just amazing. And then of course the apple pecan
You're a dessert person.
dessert. Oh, that was just
Okay.
yum.
I got 2 out of 3.
Okay.
I thought the porcini mushroom was wonderful. I love the amount of porcinis in there.
Oh, yeah.
Again, porcinis is it's not a delicate mushroom.
It's earthy,
It
you
comes
know?
out and it hits you. It's like a truffle. You don't need a whole bunch.
Right. No,
Excellent.
delicious.
Cioppino, I love the amount of seafood you have. And again, for $25, it's a steal. It's
yeah.
excellent. That with a nice glass of wine, perfect.
Beautiful.
And then lastly, the prime rib. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a prime rib like this. And again, the egg on top with the truffle, everything just came together.
It was decadent.
Yeah.
That's the word that I would use to describe that
Usually
meal.
you say that for desserts.
But it's decadent
for this
because
dish.
of the egg and the truffle. It's decadent.
Right. So, what's your opinions of this restaurant?
This is definitely on my top 10 list of all-time favorite dining experiences, I have to say. So good.
Good. The other thing I was going to tell you is that the service here is professional. There's a
Yes.
gentleman here named Shamus who's been here forever. Seamus, or should I say Seamus. And hopefully you'll be able to get him. Very knowledgeable and knows wines, as everyone here does. With that said,
Delicious.
I'm ready for some Mexican food.
Yeah, okay.
So we're off to Hyland for Taco Joe's for some really, really good Mexican food. We'll be right back. There are a lot of Mexican restaurants to choose from, but one of the best that stands alone is Taco Joe's Mexican Restaurant in Hyland. This freestanding restaurant is decked out with warm, colorful walls, while the menu features a large selection of both traditional as well as original Mexican dishes, along with some scrumptious American breakfast items that are absolutely delicious. Since purchasing the restaurant in 2008, owner Arcelia Cobian has turned this okay restaurant into a marvelous one. The staff are friendly, the food is fresh and loaded with flavor, and the prices, oh man, they're outstanding. Well, here we are at our second restaurant, Taco Joe's in Hyland. Now, you're probably wondering, why are we dressed like this? Well, as you can tell, hopefully, I'm a huge, and I mean huge, Kings fan, LA Kings fan. Stanley Cup winner, baby. I am a fan. And she's dressed up in this.
Beautiful Penguins uniform outfit here.
Because
I'm fabulous.
she's a huge Penguins fan. So this is going to be an interesting review. And who knows, we might have a fist fight, kind of like hockey, real hockey. So you ready to start the review?
I am ready.
Okay, let's start with the spinach cream cheese omelet, $7.25. This is a 3-egg omelet stuffed with cream cheese, fresh spinach. It was topped with more spinach, Swiss cheese. I thought this was an excellent omelet. There's a big theme to this restaurant, is cream cheese. They use I wish I was a salesperson that sold the cream cheese. I'd be a millionaire. But which is clever.
It works with the eggs. It really did. It was unexpected. I like that they use fresh spinach and that she sautés it. And yeah, it's a nice combination. I really like this.
That was very good.
I would come back for that for sure.
Then there was a stuffed French toast. And again, $6.25. Get this. This is Texas toast. It's egg battered. Then there's corn flakes. It's stuffed with cream cheese and more strawberries, fresh strawberries, and again more strawberries on top.
Yeah.
I love the crunch of the bread. The cornflakes.
With the cornflakes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I've never had. I think there was a little cinnamon to it. I forgot to ask her, but I got a little cinnamon to it.
I didn't taste that, but it was delicious.
The crunch of the bread, again, cream cheese and strawberries. My God. But this is just a very, very nice breakfast.
Again, she used fresh strawberries, makes her own sauce, and then blends it into a puree, and then whips it into the cream cheese.
Right. Cream cheese, number
Very
one.
good.
Just like the Kings. Yay. Okay.
Go
then,
Penguins.
Then there's crepes, $6.95. Now these are 3 crepes, and they're nice sized crepes.
Yeah.
This one comes with fresh strawberries, one with apples, and one with a pineapple, apricot, peaches. And guess what? There's a mixture, but it's not cream cheese. It's cottage cheese, powdered sugar, and it's in fruit, and it's mixed together.
Yeah.
So again, no cream cheese, but I really like the idea of the cottage cheese. You could taste a little bit of the curd or anything. You didn't like it?
I didn't like it at all.
Oh, see, I really thought it was good.
No, I actually think if she used a ricotta, it would it wouldn't be so sour. I just felt it was a little sour.
So do you like cottage cheese normally? No. Okay.
No, I do. I mean, I'm not saying I don't. I don't. For this particular dish, I feel like it needs to be ricotta.
Right. Okay. Then we'll start with a wonderful appetizer, Queso Fundido, $3.95.
That's incredible.
That's $3.95.
Wow.
It comes to the table piping hot. This is
Bubbling.
Oaxaca cheese, jack cheese, just bubbling with wonderfulness. Slices of roasted jalapeno and chorizo. Get your tortilla chips. Just dip it in there.
Yeah.
This is a Mexican fondue, but $3.95.
Yeah, crazy price. I loved it. I thought it was good. Again, she uses fresh roasted jalapenos. Again, I love that theme of fresh in here. The only thing I would change is maybe cut the jalapenos up a little bit. They were large.
Slices,
it looked
yeah.
very beautiful for presentation, but a little difficult to eat.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So, but I thought the flavors were delicious.
But make sure you eat it quickly because when it's hot, because
Yeah.
if not, it just gets
It
real.
congeals.
One big piece
Yeah.
comes out, so it's important. Okay, if you like shrimp, you got to get the camarones a la Mexicana. This is $13.95. This is 10 large shrimp sautéed with a zesty sweet tomato salsa sauce, they call
Yeah.
it, with sliced jalapenos, ketchup, and onions. Comes with rice and beans. This is one of the dishes I had a long time ago when I met her in Taco Joe's that just wowed me.
Yeah.
The sweetness, the tanginess of it,
Yeah.
the hotness,
Yeah.
the succulent shrimp. Wow.
I agree. I thought it was very good. It's sweet. It's kind of unexpected. It's unusual. I don't think I've ever tasted anything with that flavor. She had garnished it with fresh avocado slices, and again, I like the contrast of the creamy avocado slices with the sauce.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, next came Enchilada Suiza. This is $11.95. This is 2 enchiladas with grilled chicken, Swiss cheese that's wrapped in flour tortillas, topped with the Mexican crema cheese, with avocado, refried beans, rice, the spicy tomatillo, jalapeno sauce really wowed me. I mean, it really brings it to attention.
Yeah.
But the cream in it kind of mellows it out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a creamy version of a hot sauce.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And-
delicious. It did have a little kick. I thought it was spicy. You didn't think it was so spicy. Maybe I'm a whim.
Well, you're from Pittsburgh. It's kind of like Crosby, right? Crosby's a player.
Awesome, you mean?
He thinks he's a good player in Pittsburgh, but he's a wuss. He's always injured.
awesome.
I can't play. Anyway, next came the Santa Fe Enchiladas, $10.95. Now in Santa Fe, New Mexico, this is very popular.
Yeah.
The stacked enchiladas.
Yeah.
This is 3 corn tortillas layered with seasoned ground beef, mushrooms, olives, onions, and intense tomatillo sauce with jalapenos and tons of cheddar and Swiss cheese sauce. Wow, this one really wowed me. This had spice to it.
I agree.
But it just jumped out on you. And to me, this is what a sauce should do. It's very intense flavor.
Yeah, it had a bold flavor. This was a little unexpected for me. You don't normally see mushrooms traditionally in Mexican food, but the olive and mushroom, almost like a tamponade,
Right.
you know. And then with the ground beef, it was really good. It had a great flavor, very
When I
fresh.
come here, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I really like that.
one, so.
I agree with you. I thought that was really good.
Okay, and here's for those of you from Pittsburgh who like something dainty like Crosby.
Salad.
It's a Jasmine salad. This is $9.45. This is actually a beautiful, good salad.
Yeah.
This is organic spring mix, tossed with Mexican queso fresco cheese, fresh strawberries, avocado, pepitas, which are pumpkin seeds. It was a grilled chicken, and a delicious, stunning homemade honey walnut dressing. Just a beautiful salad that came together, had a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah, I loved it. I could eat this every day for lunch. Seriously, the chicken had a nice grill on it. The mix of the salty cheese with the cool strawberries and the buttery avocados, it worked. I loved it.
That was
And the
very
dressing, the homemade dressing was delicious. It was
Right.
sweet, but it also was tangy. So it worked for me. I liked
nice,
it.
and everything was
yeah,
fresh.
I would highly recommend that salad.
Now, for those that like to order big, go for the Plato Gordo plate.
Gordo.
$11.95, and this was Gordo, the big cat.
Gordo.
This is a cheese enchilada,
Yeah.
pork tamale,
Yes.
and a chili relleno, again with rice and beans and tortillas. I like this. This time around, they put a lot of sauce on it, which
Yeah.
is the only complaint I had, I think, of the whole evening. It
Yeah.
was just too saucy.
Over-sauced.
You couldn't distinguish the one from
I
another.
agree.
But the tamales are some of the best tamales I've ever had. It's a real light masa
Correct.
casing. It's not real heavy. They put a lot of pork or beef in it. They have different ones. And the chili relleno was very good. What's nice about it is the chili, it's Anaheim chili. It had a crunch to it. It wasn't overly cooked. I like a crunch to my chilies.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Again, I agree. Less is more on the sauce. Definitely, it was hard to distinguish. And I felt the chili relleno, the batter didn't really adhere to the.
I think the sauce, too much sauce.
Maybe
on
the
it.
sauce. Yeah, it
that's
just
all.
sort of disappeared. So I love chili rellenos, and I just wasn't as thrilled with this one. I thought the flavors were there,
Right.
just the consistency was not quite
I'm not
there.
making excuses, but this place is jammed today.
Yeah,
and
very
jammed
busy.
tonight. That's why all the noise. So, sometimes
Yeah.
the kitchen's overwhelmed, and
Absolutely.
this is kind of a burden to accommodate us. So,
Yeah.
anyway, it happens. And I think with this one, I would ask for either a little sauce or no sauce. But I would say a little sauce is good, but I
Yeah.
would just not overpowering.
And I believe it comes with either green or red sauce, or what they call Christmas, where you could do both, and that might be a good combination
Yeah.
too. But just I think less
Not a
is
whole
more.
bunch. That's all.
Yeah.
So, then there was desserts. All I can say is wow. Apple chimney, $7.05. Not sure why 5, but
That's strange.
this is a large chimichanga, but it was stuffed with, a flour tortilla stuffed with apples
and
cream cheese.
Yeah.
and deep fried, and a lot of whipped cream on top, a big bowl scoop
Yeah.
of vanilla ice cream. Then they had chocolate and caramel sauce over the chimichanga.
It was visually beautiful. I liked it. I feel like it would be. I would get rid of the cream cheese and just do so it would be like apple pie filling. So it's almost more like a warm apple pie.
I probably agree with that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just cream cheese out.
Yeah, we're kind of done with cream cheese for the
So
day.
But in terms of your favorites, what are they?
The Jasmine Salad.
Okay.
I love that. Could eat that all day long. I really like the spinach cream cheese omelet. I really did, even though we have the cream cheese in there. I thought it was delicious. And I would say the Santa Fe enchilada.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the stuffed French toast an awful lot. I love the crispiness of the bread. The Santa Fe enchiladas, that's one of my favorites. I like it. It's pungent. It's really good. But
Yeah.
And then Jasmine salad. That was spectacular. Now, this is your second time on the show. Did you learn anything from the first time?
Well, I ate a lot less this time, so I'm
Okay.
not quite as full.
Oh, come on. You ate pretty good.
I did.
You, You have a good appetite.
I do. I
do.
do.
So, well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to celebrate. I got my Stanley Cup here. I'm going to drink from
Here
it.
it comes.
And
I don't think so.
So you got to drink from it. So, folks, until next time, thanks for watching Let's Sign Out Show. Happy eating and go Kings.
Go
Here.
Penguins.
No, Kings. Here, drink from it. Come on, drink from it. No, come on. It's tradition.